Mazda 3 with the 2.5-liter gas engine, which starts at just under 26,000 euros. This engine now replaces all 2-liter power plants. Alright, so I was testing this 2.5-liter gas engine, naturally aspirated, in the Mazda CX-30 last time, and now I am testing it in the Mazda 3. Beautiful car, especially this sedan version. Everyone's looking at it. Even the postman last time when they came over, and I was wondering, what are they doing so long? And they were just looking at the car, because it is such a good looker. Anyway, let's cut straight to the chase. I've done 361 kilometers since I got the car, and I reset the odometer and fuel consumption, and my average fuel consumption right now is 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Would I buy this engine if I was buying it for economy? Probably not. Would I buy it if the economy wasn't really that much of a concern and I was looking at a gas engine? Probably, because it is extremely nice. It's very quiet, it's refined. It sounds pretty nice if you punch it because of the dual exhaust system and everything. And it's got quite reasonable torque, especially around the city and such. If you're gonna try to race someone on the highway, yeah, then you're gonna notice that there's no turbo. So there's a caveat about the fuel consumption. Yes, 7.2 right now, it seems high, the average fuel consumption. But the thing is, I did drive this car a lot through some very, very high rush hour traffic in a capital city, and then on the highways as well. This sort of stuff, where I'm just, calmly cruising along, I wasn't really doing a lot of that. So if you take this car on the highway, you should expect about 6.5 to 7 liters per 100 kilometers at 130 kilometers per hour. If you take it on roads like this, the lowest I have seen, not instant but average fuel consumption for that drive, was 4.2 liters per 100 kilometers. So this engine is very much capable of being very economical. However, it is also very easy to get it to be thirsty. And that's why the average fuel consumption through my entire driving of this car is 7.2. And of course, it also has the automatic transmission, which will increase the fuel consumption slightly. And as with the CX-30, where I also had a little higher fuel consumption, there's also one thing that's negatively impacting the fuel consumption, and that is the fact that both the CX-30 and this car, I was the first one to test drive it. So it had like 20 kilometers on the odometer. And they told me that the fuel consumption will suffer as a result of that. So you should expect the fuel consumption to be a little bit lower than what I'm telling you here when the engine and the ECU get into its usual cycle. There's two sides to it. Like I said, it can be very economical, but also can be quite thirsty. And most of the time, you're going to at least hover at around 6 if you're very economical. I would say 6.5 is realistic. Also, the automatic transmission, like I said in the CX-30, and in most Mazdas really, the automatic transmissions are a little bit juddery at times when changing gears. It's not quite as smooth and as pleasant as you would expect. It's not a huge deal, but it's something to keep in mind. On the positive sides, I really do like this engine. Otherwise, like I said, it sounds really good when you punch it, but otherwise it's barely audible, or just completely inaudible, because it'll keep its RPMs so low that you will barely ever hear it. And it's just such a pleasant car to be in. Like all the Mazdas, like I always say, I'm like a completely broken record here, and but everyone is saying this is such a nice car to be. The only thing here you have to remember, though, that the Mazda 3, the A-pillars here are actually so low that I caught myself off guard and hit my head when trying to get out of it the first couple of times. I don't know, I wasn't quite expecting it, even though I was in Mazda 3 before, but yeah, it is quite low, so just be careful.